Okay, hello. So, sorry if I haven't got this totally organised, but yeah, I'll just tell you what I'm thinking about the app, and maybe you can give some suggestions. So I've got this document here. It's got the pages and everything like that on it. So let's first have a look, maybe how the app will work and maybe how people will use it. So maybe I've told you all of this sort of stuff, but maybe not. So what happens is the user puts this, like a small computer onto the side of their aquaponics system, and then you put the probes into the water, and then you connect this up to your Wi-Fi, and then that will send the messages, send the recordings from the probes into the database, and then the user logs in to their system, and then that's kind of how the app's working. So on the first time that the user logs in, they're going to need to put in some details. So I see this is perfect. This is fine here. So this will say probably like set up or something like this, set your system up. And the first time that the user logs into the system, then they'll be brought to something like this. So this is like a multi-step form. So you put in a few details, click next. So the multi-step form at first. So I'm not sure 100% exactly what fields we're going to have on there, but you can see here. So this is the page title, which is both settings and setup. So you log into the first time, you have like a multi-step form. So step one will be you'll enter a code that will connect you to the database. So the computer will be sending into the database, and you'll have to connect up with that. So you have your system ID. It'll be a code that comes, like, if you're selling this, then it'll come with a number. So you'll connect to that. Username, email, password, re-enter password. Okay. Then you're going to have to enter like the system parameters. So you maybe give your system a name. There's other important things that might be here. So water capacity is one. For some later features of the app, you'll need to know the water capacity of your system. Then you're going to have the option to select a fish or to enter your own custom settings. Okay, so that will give this type of picture here. So with the small screens, there may be you're entering it into a form, and with the big screens, you enter it with the sliders. Okay. So you'll do this multi-step form, and then you're going to enter it, and then that will connect the system to the database. So what's the, thinking about how the user's going to use this. So at the moment, we're only thinking about the mobile view. So you're going to have your front page, which will have the live monitor. It'll show your fish. I'm not sure that this will be here. I think that will be in the settings page. So you have some details about your system here, water capacity and the same thing. Then you're going to have your current status. And I like those pictures that you sent me I like those pictures that you sent me about this. That's quite good. So I like your new design. This won't exist. This is just for testing. Okay. So then each time I've got this red mark, this is what going to be a new page. Okay, so all the pages will be like this. So there's a few questions on how to present things best and how to navigate around the system. So let's talk about the navigation then. For the navigation, I think I want this side nav. So yeah, something like this. So you have each page, you have your history, maybe the ability to click through history, and then you have your subheadings here, and you can click directly through. So what this looks like on the page is this. So, you know, I'm asking a little bit of a question and maybe for your experience here, whether maybe you just click history and then it brings you by default to the temperature without having these subheadings here. So maybe it just brings you straight to the temperature and then the user clicks through and tabs, which will show the same thing. So that's one question. But yeah, the main thing now is just to think about how the user will navigate around the app. Maybe you have some ideas, or you just want to design it like this with the pages, and then you can click through. Okay, so I think one of the main concerns is probably this here. This here. So when the user goes to the history page, they have the option to select by a previous period of time, or they have this select by a date picker. So both those features I probably want the user. So, you know, on this navigation and this page, you know, how should this be designed? So right now this is not the best. So we need to somehow like get this onto the page. So any ideas for that? Maybe it can even go in the side nav. So when someone clicks on the history button, then maybe in the side nav there's some type of feature here. So I'm not sure about that, how to do that, how to design that nicely. Okay, so yeah, then the customization page as well. So why does the user have the customization page? Because they may want to change the custom. They may want to change the custom parameters. So the options here are as they select the fish, and this is in the database. Then what they want to do is they want to make some customizations to the fish in the database. Then they can do it like this. So they enter that. So 19.5 and 24.5, and then okay, so then you select the silver perch custom, and then that's did that not work? Okay. Anyway, that's what they get to do. So they can choose the custom. Also, if they want to enter a completely new customization, then they can do it here. They can give it a name, and then they can enter, and then that will be in the database. So there needs to be a page that has all of these features. So they need to be able to change. So customization, the settings page, they need to be able to customize the current fish. They need to create new customizations, and also they need to be able to change the important things here. So if they want to change their username, they want to change the password, and this types of things. So that needs to be thought about. So kind of what I'm asking is questions about UX and how to best present these features to the user. Let's see if there's anything else. Okay, so most of the information's here. Most of the information's in this document. There might be another feature. So in the app, you can see what we're seeing here is we're seeing the previous readings for the current fish. So there might be a feature where you might want to check the history against the features of another fish. So let's say I have trout, but I want to look back in the history of the silver perch. So I look at what I'm trying to do is trying to see if the history matches up with the parameters of a fish that I haven't put in the system yet. So if I want to check the date from February, March, I want to check. Okay, so I can see that this temperature is too low if I want to put fish next year in that period of time. So there might be a feature where you're checking the history against a potential fish. So that would be an entire new page. And there might be some other features like this that the system has. Another thing I want you to have a look at is as well, so this will be its own page, is the typeface of this. How the heading should look, the subheadings should look, what texts I should be using, and this type of thing. So I don't know if that's important. But yeah. So I think it's typefacing when you're talking about how the document should look with the text and the font. Okay, I think that's it. Cheers.